All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on? The camera will be on in just a second. I just want to welcome everybody here. If you're first time here, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for being here for another unfiltered reaction. These happen every so often. I thought this would be one that we can tackle today. It went down in two places. As you see the title, one pastor cussed out the board of the church, and another pastor calls unmarried preachers gay or chicken chokers. And so we want to discuss this and what's going on in the church today. It seems to be some of these pastors are separating themselves from the foolishness, and some of these pastors are calling out some of the foolishness. And so we're going to react to it. And I would love to have you guys comment in the comments. Let me know what you guys think because it's about to go down. It's about to go down in here today. So the first video that I want to hop right into is this pastor is preaching that this is going to be a 40-second clip of this pastor preaching that men are the pastors who really are in the pastors who are really are in the word are not married, and there's a reason for it. So let's go ahead and play this first video, and then we'll discuss it. We'll get right into it. And we just gonna react to it. Here we go.
Got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You're not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right, I'm going to play it one more time. And while I'm about to play this, guys, can you go ahead and do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with somebody. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. We got to have this conversation. Thank you, Lady Navoa, for being here. Thank you, World Class, for being here. Make sure you guys share it with your people and let them know that we're here. I'm going to be dropping the link as well, so people can come up and we can have this discussion after we get through with the video. But I'm going to play the video one more time. I think it'll be good for me to play the video one more time, and because he's cooking. All right, here we go again.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You're not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right, you guys, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? I would love to have you as my co-host today. If you want to come up and me and you can discuss this together, because I would love to know your perspective and I would love to have you by my side on this conversation today. I'm going to send it to you. Hopefully, you're in a place where you can come up and help me with this one, Anissa. I'm going to send you the link right now. Let's see, where's Anissa? There she is. I want to send you the link because I think this would be a great conversation. But what we've heard so far is the pastor say basically these men preachers out here been preaching for years, been preaching for decades. They know the word said that it's not good for a man to be alone and how much marriage is important. And he's saying that they're not fooling nobody. So he must have the inside track on some of these men. You ain't fooling nobody. Either you gay or you choking the chicken. So I want to know what you guys think about it. I want to know what you guys think about it because he's calling out some unmarried preachers. I think that in this world that we're living in, even some of the unmarried worship leaders seem to be a little faulty as well. We enjoy their music, but there's no wives. Donald Lawrence, Hezekiah Walker, Ricky Dillard, all these great musicians, did not have or do not have wives. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think? Talk to me, because I think that does he have a point? Does he have a point? Anis, are you able to make it up, hon? Does he have a point here? Is it that men, the men that who are not, who are not married, who are pastors, do you believe in the two things that he mentioned? And I know it was funny because I laughed. Let's see. Okay, I got you, Nissa. And so, those are my thoughts. The world class, I sent you the link as well to have you come up, man, because I know me and you'll have some fun with this one. Um, let's see here. Let me give it to you. All right, world class, you have it. All right. So again, for the people that just may come in, I want to play the video as much as I can to try to drown, the thought process in everybody that's watching. So I'm gonna play it again. All right. This won't be my last time playing it because we got to play it throughout as people are coming in. But here we go.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right. He who findeth a good thing finds favor in the Lord. Let's play it one more time, ladies and gentlemen.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops,
Hello?
pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right. He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and has favor in the Lord. Oh. So what do you guys think? What do you, hey, I'm just reacting to this with y'all, man. It shocked me because you really don't see pastors today getting it in like this because of fear, simply because of fear. And so you don't really see it. And so I'm glad that, we're able to have a conversation about, about the whole situation, about him talking about, hey, what's going on with the church? What's going on with the people in the church? What's going on with the pastors? They're leading, but are they really? All right, one more time for the people in the back.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Good to see you take heed to the messages in the building today. I often say tonight because we're always on at night. All right, but y'all tell me, the people that are in here right now, he said that the men who are preachers and pastors, they're not fooling anybody that have not been married. And it is kind of strange. Some of these preachers who, some of the pastors who do have a lot of, a great reputation of preaching the word, and they've not been, they're not in a religion, or they're not believers who don't believe that they can't be married. They encourage marriage based on the word of God, saying that he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and find favor in the Lord. And if he finds favor in the Lord, then yeah, I mean, you would want that. Anybody that has any type of sense will say, "Hey, listen, I want favor with the Lord. It's not good for man to be alone, right?" So, for take heed to the message, I'll play it for take heed to the message. Here we go again. Take heed. This is for you.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right. He who findeth a good thing finds favor in the Lord. Now take heed. Take heed. Saying, wait now. Take heed. Did you hear the man? The man said, if you ain't got no wife and you've been preaching all these years, you either gay or you choking that chicken. And so this pastor is preaching his. I mean, he's preaching the truth. I guess he's calling out men who are preaching married but not married. Again, when it comes to different things in the community of gospel or in the community of let's see, our Christian faith, a lot of superior men, whether preachers or whether musicians, are not married. And a lot of them that people listen to and look up to and inspired to be are not married. Again, I'll name them. Hezekiah Walker is one. Never been married. Ricky Dillard is one. Never been married. Donald Lawrence, never been married. Right? We had Tone who came out and said he is gay and he ain't fighting it no more. Right? Tone now has pink hair, has wearing wigs, wearing skirts. He finally came out and said, even if you look at some of the mannerisms of some of our artists, if you look at somebody like Donald Lawrence, Donald Lawrence is very flamboyant, hand curved up, but he makes some great music for people to listen to. I don't think he'll ever come out. I think there's been pictures. Somebody took some pictures at a theme park of him and some white guy holding hands, right? Um, he had no comment for those pictures. But hey, again, it's all about perception. What do you guys think? That why these prominent men who preach the word, who have no restrictions, in faith about being married, not married? Why are they 50, 49, 50, 55 years old, never had any children, never been married, you never seen them with a woman at all? They're not monks and they're not priests of the Catholic Church. And so why not? Maybe this guy has a point. Maybe he does not. Maybe he does not. World class. Let me see. I thought I sent world class this link, guys. Give me just a second here. World class. Nope, I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, so it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna discuss a little bit more about it. I'm gonna drop the link for anybody that wants to come up, and so we can react to this together. Let's see what we got. All right. The link is being dropped right now. Hold on, give me just a second. I think I dropped the wrong link. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, so I just dropped the link, guys. If you want to come up and have the conversation with me, world class, take heed, Lady Navoa, so on and so forth. We can have the hey, it's it's. I mean, this conversation is. All right, so I want to say hi to some people again. Thank you for always supporting Lady Navoa. Thank you for keeping the chat clean. Anissa Glash, I know you're at work. Shout out to you, sweetheart, for listening in while you're working. The World Class is in the building. Make sure you go and subscribe to World Class. Let's see who else. CBN Tech Talks is in the building. My tech guy, who handles some of the shows for me here. I appreciate him so much. He's an amazing man, father and husband. Take heed to the message, man. If you ain't subscribed to Take Heed to the Message, I don't know. You need to take heed to my message and go subscribe. She's doing an amazing thing. Red Lipstick Vibes is in the building. She said, "Happy Friday, chat." She's happy, brother. Red Lipstick, I'm so glad you're here because I'm going to play this video again one more time for you, and we'll go from there.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
So Red Lipstick, if you want to come up, Red Lipstick Vibes, you don't have to have your camera on. You know I love you and trust you. If you want to come up and have something to say about this, you definitely can get up here and say it. But that's what he said. We'll circle back to this. Because I want everybody to be able to see what this man this past somebody on my Facebook page just said, hey, yep, half those pastors are lying. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But we're gonna discuss it. But I don't think half of them are. I think half of them are running from what they really want to be. Now that's the truth, Ruth. I think half of them are running from who they truly are. But we'll definitely address that. Guys, the link is in the chat. She said, hey, Red Lipstick Vibes, don't beat me up, Red Lipstick. I just want to react to it. I can't react to it. She said she's going to beat me. But, I mean, it is what it is. I think that sometimes they're telling the truth, sometimes not. Now, what I want to do now is we'll circle back to this. Once people start coming in, we'll go back and watch the videos. But I have another video for you guys. And on this particular video, the pastor was asked to do something that he wasn't comfortable with. And then he waited. He didn't say anything. He did, but I'm going to let you guys watch it. We'll go through it. But he did stand up to the church when they tried to get him to lie to the church. Again, this guy. Okay, Red Lipstick, no problem. The link is in the chat. They wanted him to lie to the church and he refused. All right. So here we go. Give me just a second to pull it up and we'll go through it.
Yeah, don't cut my mic off. In the name of Jesus, don't cut my mic off. This week, I was surprised with a contract that was titled Pastoral Transition Agreement. And it was told to me that the board of this church, which consists of 2 people, want me to leave town.
See, that's one of the things that I don't like, right? I don't like to be a part of a church where all decisions are made by 2 people. I think a board, it should at least consist of 10, right? So you have 5 and 5. And if you vote, you have the votes that you need. But I don't think that 2 people should be making the decisions on everything that goes on at the church, what they buy, what they don't buy, because those 2 people can be in cahoots and they can ruin an entire church. They can crumble an entire church based on what they want and decisions that they're making about the church. I don't think a board should be 2 people. He just said the board that consists of 2 people. He made that reference based on the fact he probably thinking like I'm thinking. Hell no. We don't need to have 2 people. You need to have at least 10 on the board. 10. And if, as pastor of that church, I definitely would have said, listen, we're going to have a board, yes, but we're not going to have a decision go through two people. We need to have at least 10. So let's go out and into our congregation and see the people who have been given to our congregation, whether financially, whether through worship, through ministry, has been a leader in any type of ministry setting, and get different perspectives and ideas on the board. Because when you have a board of at least 10 people, your perspectives are different, right? You could do things differently. All right, so let's continue.
And they made me an offer to pay for all of my moving expenses and to keep me on payroll for 6 months if I would come to you and tell you that I miss California so much that I want to go home. There was to be a fake announcement made by me and a member of the board to pretend like they were sad to see me go, like they didn't want to see me go, and like the announcement caught them off guard. On June the 11th, there was to be a going away party for me. They told me, if you leave town, we'll fund wherever you go. If you stay here, we won't give you another dime.
And that, see what I mean? Only when two people are controlling the narrative, that's the kind of narrative you get, right? They wanted this man to leave based on the fact that they didn't want him there. And so they say, you know what? We won't want you here so bad. We're going to use the church money and lie to the church, right? It started as a lie. It's rooted in a lie. We're going to use the money. We'll pay for your travel expenses. We'll pay for your moving expenses. We'll pay for everything that where you're going. Us too don't want you here anymore. That's why you need a board of at least 10. If you have a board of at least 10, then you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about anybody trying to kick you out of the church or trying to get rid of you in secret. These two people are bullies, basically. They're bullies in the church, and they're using the power the church has given them to be a bully. Let's continue.
Can I be transparent? I'm being transparent. I lost my temper and cussed them completely out.
Uh-oh.
I told them I'm not leaving the people. Told them I have a 10-year-old son, a 14-year-old daughter, a 16-year-old son. You can't expect me to uproot my family and leave town. And it's all because I initiated a conversation a year ago that made everybody so uncomfortable that they stopped speaking to me. I was told, you're an amazing preacher, one of the best, but you're a bad pastor. I said to them, God has used me to carry this church through healing, restoration, reconciliation, through a pandemic, through bringing people back safely, and you have the nerve to tell me all of the emails, texts, and phone calls that I've sent proposing classes and programs and outreach things that have gone completely ignored. And you have the nerve to tell me, said if you stay in town, you can't come within 50 miles of the church.
Now, if that ain't bullying, right? Let's go back to what he said. He said, I'm being transparent. This is a truthful pastor. Let's be real. He's one of the, he like he said, when they said to him, "You one of the best." Well, I've never heard this man preach before in my life, but I can tell by his mannerisms and the way that he's talking and the way that he's being transparent that he's being real. I'm a human being, and y'all came at me wrong, and y'all got cussed out. He literally said they came at him wrong, and he cussed them out. Right? They lied. They wanted to set up a lie. They wanted to have somebody come up and they wanted to sit up on the stage and be like, our pastor just misses California and he's going back. And they wanted to set up a lie, and he's calling them out on their lies. He's calling them out on their lies, and he had to cuss them out to do it. This man is not lying. He said he's not going to uproot his 16-year-old, his 14-year-old, and his 11-year-old children and just uproot them based on the fact that two people don't want him there. I agree with him totally. Here we go.
You think I'm lying? I got the contract in my possession. I told my wife this morning I'm not going to say anything. But doggone it, the people have been through too damn much.
Speak your truth, Doc. Speak your truth, Doc.
You've been lied to for too long, manipulated too long. I'm sick of the foolishness. I'm sick of it. And the devil is a liar. If they don't let me back after today, I'll let you know where I'm going. Because it's one for all and all for one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And look at the outpour and the support from the church. They're completely shocked. And I guarantee you, if they cause another uproar, they can get those two people out of there. Right? They can get those two people out of there. That many people that have the authority as a church body, get those board members out of there, or if we have leaders there and add 8 more people to give more balance to the church. Look at the support that they're giving him. Look at the prayers and the support that they're giving him as he's leaving the stage. Now, if you go back to the beginning, he already knew that when he told his truth, they would try to cut him off. That's why he put the pressure on the media department. And when he said this,
media, don't cut my mic off. In the name of Jesus, don't cut my mic off.
See, he already put the pressure on the media department, right? Who's going to turn the mics off after they heard that? Don't turn the mics off. In the name of Jesus, don't turn the mic off. Right? Don't turn the mic off, right? Trey, let me know if you're busy, and I'd love to have you up, man. Anybody that want to join the conversation, I just dropped the link in the chat again. I dropped it earlier, but you guys probably can't see it. It's so far up to the top. But again, he said it. So what I want to do, I want to go back through it again for the people that just came in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this. We have 19 people in here. Somebody tell me how many likes we have in there. I didn't have my other screen up. I'll pull it up in just a second. But we have 19 likes. 19 people watching. We need 19 likes to get the algorithm moving in our direction. So let's definitely get that taken care of while we're in the mood here. Give me just a second. All right, give me 1 minute. Let's see. Yeah, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. We got 10 likes and 18 people watching. Hit the like button for me real quick. Hit the like button for me real quick, and we'll continue. Hit the like button for me real quick. I'll give you 15 seconds to go hit that like button. And also smash that like button and hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed, and hit the share button with somebody else. If you want to donate, you see the Cash App at the bottom of the screen before we continue on. Now we have 13 likes. Yes, let's get it up to 19. 19 are watching. Let's make sure that we share this as well as we move forward to get more people in here watching for this content that I'm trying to deliver. We're at 13 likes. Let's get it up to 19, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's continue. Trey, if you want to come up, just hit me up in Instagram. Instagram, yeah, and let me know why you can or cannot come up, because I would love to have you in on this one as well. All right, so let's get back to what he said again, because this is the kind of pastor people like. People, we have 20 watching, 14 likes. Let's get it up to 20. People should love pastors like this. He's very transparent. He's you could tell that he ain't about that bull. He ain't running no trash church. And when we talk about online, when we talk about churches and preachers who's taking advantage of the churches and why people don't go to church, this is the reason you should go to church, because you have a man who's standing for you, standing in the gap for you, coming out and telling you what those board members, where they messed up at. And if you want to know the name of this pastor, I'm gonna stop real quick. His name is Pastor Marion Saunders. I'm sorry, Marion. I said Marion. Marlon, Marlon Saunders. His name is Marlon Saunders, guys. So that's what his name is. Somebody asked in the chat earlier. But you want a man that's going to stand in the gap for you. You want a man that's going to stand in the gap for you and going to be there for you and going to be a part of the church that's going to lead people in the right direction and call out those who are not moving in the right direction. All right. Hit that like button. We have 14 likes. We have 22 people watching. Hit the like button, please. Go ahead and hit that like button, and we're going to go ahead and start the video back again for the people who did not. And then I'll start bringing people up that comes in the back. But I'm going to go ahead and play this once more again, and then I'll bring people up, and then we'll dissect it with the people that come up. All right. Here we go again. I'm going to start it from the beginning, because of what he said about the media, and then we'll go all the way through it, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it. Here we go.
Media, don't cut my mic off. In the name of Jesus, don't cut my mic off. This week, I was surprised with a contract that was titled Pastoral Transition Agreement.
Now, hold on, because we already went through this. So this is what I'm going to do, right? Because I have two videos. I had the one that you guys, is 21 people watching. We have 14 likes. Get those likes up, get those likes up, get those likes up, please. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the first video because I want to do it all together. Then I want to bring people up. All right, if you want to join the conversation, the link is in the chat. Just put it there once again if you want to come up, and we'll come up right after this one. Let me pull up the last video, because I think that's important as well. We'll start there and come back to this one, because this was the second one. But this is a pastor calling. These are pastors today. I'm just revealing pastors to you guys who are calling out other pastors or calling out members of the church who are trying to make it harder for people to thrive and people to do in church. All right. So let's go back to this pastor first.
Preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You're not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right, I'm going to play that one more time for the people who are watching. All right, yeah, there we go. Our likes are going up. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to play the video again when we get those likes back up here. All right, we're at, let's see, we got 20 people watching and 16 likes. Let's get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Get those likes up. Thank you so much, Lady Navoa. Stay on top of that for me, because I may get sidetracked a little bit. But y'all come on and get those likes up, please. Get those likes up, get them 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 up. All right, here we go. I'm going to play it one more time for the people in the back with hearing aids. Here we go.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You're not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
Now, I do want to make this reference to what I just said. I want to make this reference. So Trey says in the chat, "What's up, what's up, Libro?" Because I'm older than him. What's up, Libro? Trey says, "Oh boy, not shaming the single people in church using the scripture." No, he's not talking about single people in the church. He's talking about pastors only. He at the beginning of it, you'll hear him say this.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle.
All right. So he says a lot of pastors, bishops, already single and not ready to mingle. A lot of those pastors, as he's referring to, they're very questionable, very flamboyant, right? And they're preaching marriage and being married and what marriage looks like, but none of them have ever been married. And he's an insider, and he's around these ministers when they're traveling on the road and doing whatever they do. And he said, "You guys are preaching this, but none of you ain't even trying to get married. We ain't never seen you date no women. We ain't never seen you be around no women. We ain't never seen you talk to no women." And he's saying, "You either gay or you choking the chicken. You." And so he's calling out those ministers who do all the preaching and do all this fire and brimstone from the pulpit, talking about men and women men who are out, doing this, and women who are out doing this. But some of these guys have some very secret lives they don't want nobody to know about. And he's calling them out. And I guarantee you there's been a preacher coalition about this video because they're probably saying, "This fool, he done lost his damn mind putting our business out in the street." Right? So here we go. I'm going to play it again for the people watching. Then I'll bring everybody up.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God."
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see I have Black David in the building, T. Riggles in the building, the world class is in here. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys as usual. Now, guys, I saw you guys, I heard you guys laughing, but I wanted a live reaction from you guys as this pastor is ripping them a new one, talking about either if you're a bishop. Let me let you hear one more time. Here we go for the people that just came up on the platform here. Here we go.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God."
All right, guys, what are your thoughts? We'll start with the world class, and we'll go around the room. World class, what are your thoughts?
I don't know why you start with me. I'm so happy that they're calling out the gayness in church, especially with the pastors, because we need a leader speak the pack. And I don't think that's a hard. I mean, even in like politics, right? Most of the guys that are leading in politics are married, right? So, and then I think that's kind of like a staple in most religious leadership, most leadership. Period. You have this dealing of leadership. That's why even in my community, I don't be trying to get no leadership position because me and marriage ain't friends. That's what I'm saying. But I think it's first of all, it's hilarious what he's suggesting, and maybe I'm assuming that he's suggesting that these guys are. Well, he didn't suggest. He said either you gay or you choking the chicken. But that type of pressure is needed. is needed, and that's what's up, man. I don't know if he got some that morning, but he definitely was on. He was on one. I don't think your pastor should be flamboyant or supporting the rainbow, but those of us that had left the church a long time ago, and to see, I mean, I went to a different part of Maryland, to see somebody, right? And I'm driving past these churches, and like 4 churches had the gay pride flag outside. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, this is the reason a lot of us left, because it's just not the found. It's not what you're doing in church is not what you found in the Bible. And the only way it's going to get fixed is the so-called leaders like himself have to call it out. And that's what needs to happen for those of us that's in this community with you either way, whether you're Christian or not, to think y'all respectable enough to have a conversation. Because as an outsider, outside of the black so-called black community or hoods, the biggest joke in the community is a Christian church. And it's just because the leaders don't say nothing. I'm just keeping it a bean. The leaders are not like him, are not speaking up. You know what I'm saying? And I know in my community we call everybody out. I don't know, the so-called Islamic community, but you gonna get your ass handed to you. And that's just the truth. So I'm happy to hear it. But at the same time, is he an outlier? Is he an extremist now? I forgot who the other pastor is. That's pretty well known. I forgot his name. But is he like him, or is this going to be a standard where these newer pastors or older pastors are going to start calling out people for the BS? It's completely hilarious. But if y'all going to take it serious, that would be a good thing to see, especially around this time, right? Because they are pushing the alphabet agenda. So I think the heterosexual divine relationships need to be uh, reinforced in the Christian church, the mosque, the synagogues, the Catholic Church need to do their part to protect, the integrity of humanity, which is where everybody comes from. So, like we were just on another stream, it's crazy that gay pride got a month, but fathers get a day. And you know what's even crazier? That babies don't have no day, but gay got a month. That's what's crazy. I don't know. It's wild. They have no day, so it's no baby day.
Wow. T Wriggles, you muted. Come on with it. Let me hear you. You muted, my brother. Unmute
Can
yourself.
you hear me?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You good?
Yeah, it's your boy T Wrigglesby. Let me start it off like this. It's cleanup time. Finally, you feel me? It's cleanup time. I'm getting to a point where I'm getting tired of adults acting like children, and so to bring this to the forefront, this is magnificent, right? We have to be adults here, and let's clean up. Like pastors not being married, not being able to have a girlfriend could only mean one thing, though. Do you know what I'm saying? I like to deal with common sense, and I've been slapped in the face with common sense for the last 2 years. And so I really get it. And this is such a great thing, right? And we need to really, I love this pastor. I love both of the pastors you showed, BMU. I loved it all. It's called a spade, right? All right, so this is what's going on. And can I add something? Let me add something that's going on in these churches that no one is talking about. I've got total wind of it, and I can tell you who it is. There's an archbishop here in the United States that's in charge of 6,300 churches. The witchcraft that is going on blows my mind. It doesn't matter if a person believes it or not, knows it or not. This is happening, right? And me saying this, I've already met him. He came to me and he wanted something from me. And this is me kind of like after a year and a half, 2 years, I'm coming out now. I'm healed. I'm totally healed now. So this battle, this spiritual warfare that's going on, I think we need to all dive in more into this spiritual warfare because no one knows what spiritual warfare is. For an example, no one knows what their soul is composed of. That's very important to know that. Yeah. And for me, I just wrote in the chat, and I'll pass it along. I wrote in the chat, I'm not religious at all. I'm 2,000% spiritual first. I'm spirit before I'm human. So I need to practice my spiritual works And this what sucks about everything, because the establishment has done a great job of not bringing anything from Africa and South America into our cipher. They've done a brilliant job of cutting us from all of that ancient knowledge. Ancient knowledge. You know, that works. It totally works. And I'm living proof of some of this ancient knowledge. It works completely. So that's something that we all gotta think about. And I pass.
All right, absolutely. Thank you. And Trey asked the question. He said, I'm not married and I don't have a girlfriend. That makes me gay. What kind of logic? No, it's about the pastors who, when you're around them a lot, Trey, I've been in the church since I was a little man, since I can remember. And a lot of, when you see some of these pastors, they're very flamboyant, the way they walk, the way they carry themselves, hand all bent down, and when you go visit other churches, you like, man, where's his wife? You right? They have pastor appreciation day. Want to appreciate the pastor. He's sitting up there by himself with his head all down. Just think about, even like I said, the worship leaders that have made great music. Think about it. Think about Donald Lawrence. When have you ever seen him with a woman? He's 56 years old. Have you ever seen him with a woman before? Right? Or look at Donald Lawrence. Ricky Dillard makes great music, gospel music. Has never been with a woman before. Right? Hezekiah Walker. Never been with women before. Back in the day, they used to say Tone was sweet, right? And then now Tone came out and said, yes, I am sweet, right? He done colored his hair. He got weave in his hair. He's wearing wigs. The boy can sing the horns off a billy goat. But he came out and said it. Yes, he left his church. He said, I'm leaving the church because I know that I'm a homosexual man. So he left the church and started doing videos about being gay and the song that he made, Lord, Make Me Over Again. He said in that song, he was asking God to make him over again, to be more feminine and to be more of a woman for the man that he wanted to be with. So even that song has delivered so many people. That song has really touched a lot of people. But then he gives the definition of the song and says he was asking God to make him over, a redo, so he can come back to be the wife instead of the husband. But anyway, we got my sister from another mister in the building today.
What's up, Red?
Yeah, we got to let the ladies go first. Black David, come on now. The lady just came in. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Black David. Come on now.
I'll let Petty Red go first since you want to be petty today.
Yeah, Petty Red, go first because I'm being petty today. All right, Petty Red, how are you doing, Suge? Hold on, I want to introduce her. This young lady is from my state of Louisiana. You will hear it in her voice. One of the most beautiful women on here, married woman doing her thing, great wife, great mother, and she got that. And look, she got that beautiful salt and pepper hair. That distinguishes her on these platforms. So one of the best content creators out there. Give it up for Petty Red in the building.
Let's go, little baby.
What's going on? Let me give her the screen. I'm gonna let her have it. Here we go. There she goes. All right. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the first video of this?
I can truly choke you right now.
Matter of fact, let me let you hear it again.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right. Now, before you go, Lady Navoa's in the chat. Thank you, Lady Navoa. Lady Navoa said there are married ones too. However, that is, you are correct. There are some married ones out there, but and we can discuss that in a different show. Today, we're discussing the single men who that are 50, 55 years old, have been preaching marriage and togetherness and all this stuff for 50 years, and you've never seen them on a date, never seen them with a woman, never seen them talk about women. They just preach and hide. So those are the ones that we're addressing today. Now we can address the married ones that are, because y'all remember the scene in for colored girls when she said, oh, you letting somebody bend you over? He said, don't nobody bend me over. She said, oh, you do the bending, right? So we'll talk about those guys on another day. But today we're going to talk about the single ones because that's who the pastor called out. So Petty Red, talk to us today. What are your thoughts on the video?
Okay.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
You in Baltimore, you know about the passes.
Yes, I do.
It's a lot of them.
So, oh God. Okay.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I know what he's addressing. There are currently 8 scandals going on right now. That has to do with this topic. And so growing up in the church, I have seen a lot, and I know a lot, and I know a lot of big mega preachers in Church of God in Christ, Apostolic Faith, Cap. I know a lot of them. So here's the thing. I'm trying to not be like,
because one of them in our state, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
See,
a very well known.
I'm trying not to be,
but go ahead.
I know one of them is here in Atlanta.
I know one in New York City too. Just be petty.
So this is what happens. From what I've known. So if you don't know, I just had a birthday. I'm 48. So
happy birthday, Shug.
Happy birthday. Oh, that baby.
I'm 48, so I've been in the church a long time.
Happy birthday. Okay? Happy birthday.
What I've seen.
Oh, you look 32.
Thank you. What I've seen and what I witnessed, a lot of times what happens, especially with these younger preachers that are coming up, you get the you are anointed, you know a little bit of scriptures, you know how to hoop and holler, and they put these young men in those positions. And it's so funny that you're talking about it because I'm working on a show that I'm going to do in August when I come fully back after my move. We're going to talk about the reason why a lot of these marriages that comes about with these preachers that are in the closet, why they happen. Because of what he just said. You have a lot of these young men that are actually in the closet and these young ladies in the church, because it's better to marry than to burn. They will force them to get married. They will say, that's your husband. They get married and knowing good and well that he's actually
aisle 5 at Walmart.
Right. And then now you get all these headlines. If you haven't noticed, follow this this guy. His name is Dawson Speaks. He
owned it.
He exposes all of them all the time. And you get all these headlines of these pastors either, getting caught in the hotel, getting caught in the parking lot, getting caught here. And then you have these first ladies sitting there looking crazy. Because the church, the board,
there you go.
They already knew who he was.
Yep.
But because of what this pastor just said, I got to get married because I have to uphold an image. And that's a problem. It's been a big problem especially in the Black church for as long as I can remember. And so because what he's saying is, if you don't have a woman, if you don't have you're not married, then you're doing either or. So in order for these young men to keep I don't want nobody to know that I'm gay, or I'm just socially awkward, I don't know how to date a woman or whatever's going on, I'd rather just go ahead and marry someone and really don't even want to be with a woman. I mean, I have stories. I have literally, I wish OG Dad was here because he could tell you better than I can. There was a huge pastor here in Baltimore, and back in the early 80s, the late 80s, on Harford Road.
Ooh, come on.
He was a part of one of the biggest apostolic what you call them, denominations. The headquarters was in Jamaica, Queens, New York. My dad literally walked in the church one day and saw him and another one of the young men running through the sanctuary, butt naked.
What?
Hold on. Was the church on Merrick Boulevard? I'm trying to pinpoint it.
Harford Road.
Yeah, bro. Over east.
Oh, you mean the one in New York?
Queens.
You take Jamaica Queens. You take Jamaica Queens.
Oh, you know what it is? It's Jamaica Avenue. That big giant opera house.
Yeah, those are
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Apostle
No,
Johnny
you
Washington.
didn't. No,
Apostle
you
Johnny
didn't.
Washington was my godfather.
Oh my God.
He was bucking
So
naked.
we walk into church and they playing frolicking naked in the sanctuary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The pastor.
That's a fair play.
But let me tell you what happened though. When the headquarters church got wind of that, guess what they made him do?
Sit down.
They found him a wife, and and she became my godmother, and he mistreated her. He beat her. He downgraded her. We had to rescue her from his house many a times because and the guy that he was frolicking in the church with, he moved that guy in the house with them.
Yeah.
So
that's not surprising.
I can tell y'all some stuff about the church.
Here's what's confusing to me, right?
The fact that you say Jamaica Queens is because
you would know it. It's
that wasn't the only church. I know.
House on Jamaica Avenue.
I know, but it wasn't the only church in Jamaica Queens that was actually doing that.
Oh, of course not.
It's a franchise.
That wasn't my point. My point is this is what happens. So when he's saying that, he's just putting the battery in the back of the things that's been going on in the churches all along, where men that are actually in the closet or fighting with their sexuality, or don't really know what they want to be with a woman or a man, and they marry these women in the church. These women that where the mothers are like, yeah, we gotta groom you to be a wife. You the pastor's wife. I see it all on you.
Listen, I'm so much stress with this topic because as a person, I had to be forced to go to church too because I didn't like it. And what we know, like regular hood dudes, what we know the church to be is the place where all the hoes at. So it's weird that the hoes are there, and then also a lot of gay stuff. It's like it's when you sit and you think about it, a lot of dudes first or like sexual deviant relationships is with a church girl. But at the same time, how do you have that heterosexual deviancy and then it's not even just clean cut homosexuality, it's deviant. Like it's just wicked. Like how do you have both of those in the same place? So him calling out the pastor is like, that's y'all must be doing it on purpose. It must be some type of underground sex thing going on. I don't know. It's weird. How does it make sense?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you know what? When it comes to Tone, I don't know if a lot of people know who Tone is. He used to be a gospel artist.
Yeah.
His vocal range, guys. I never heard a man sing like that in my life, right? And so he came out and said he was gay. He left the church, left his wife. He said, y'all not finna put this on me no more. He said, I'm finna divorce this wife y'all gave me. I'm finna leave this church because I know I'm gay. And he left the church, and then the church called him out after he left. And then he went and did a song. And this was one of the lines in the song. He said, I can't believe I've given my whole life to a church. And when I became my true self, they called me out. But half of the pastors when I was 16 turned me out.
Wow. Wow.
And I was like, damn. He said the pastors, some of those pastors that was in that church been fucking him in the ass since he was 16 years old. He said, well, I wasn't gonna say nothing. He said, but now here it is since y'all want to call me out.
See, that's the thing. We always talk about the Catholic Church that has all that stuff going on.
That's stressful.
But it's in all of them.
Yep.
Like Church of God. Child, don't let me get started with Church of God.
Jesus Christ, this is too much.
I've been sitting in a church, guys. Let me tell y'all this. I've been sitting in a church.
Yeah, have you guys heard about that? What happened to in the Catholic Church?
Oh yeah, which story? It's so many.
Right. Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean,
That been going on since the 40s and the 50s.
Church stuff, but you very hear now it's coming out even more. What happens in the the other denominations, and it happens. It happens a lot because you have a lot of these. Okay, so a lot of times these men that are on the down low or pastors or they call themselves bishops sometimes, they use their position to keep the people under submission. Like my father will always say, be careful when you go to these churches and these men that don't have wives, these pastors that don't have wives and stuff, and always talk about the men in their church are their sons. And they're, and they have like these special names for the young men in the church and all this kind of stuff. Like, be very careful with that. And, they use their position just like we see how a lot of times the pastors use position to manipulate the women because the women spends the money. You know what I mean? And a lot of times the gay pastors or whatever do the same thing to the guys. So they don't care if you got a gay choir director or organist or whatever. They don't care because they're not looking at the sisters. They're looking at the brothers.
Right. And we got a church here called in Dallas, and it's a very huge church. They have a $10 million aquarium in the church, fish aquarium, and it has sharks, it has eels, it has all the wildlife you can think. And the church is surrounded. It's a circle, and the church makes a circle all the way around the church, and it's an aquarium. That's the walls of the church.
That Joel Osteen church you're talking about?
No, sir. No, sir. And Joel Osteen has a huge church because he bought the Houston Rockets arena and turned it into a church. So it's huge. However, at this church that I bought, this pastor, he is one of the. He's well renowned. If you look him up, you will see. I don't mind calling his name because his name is Ricky Rush, and Ricky Rush is a pastor that everybody knows. Very good pastor, can teach the word, preach the word, all this stuff. But it just came out that some little boys from back in the day that are grown men now saying, "Hey, listen, he was on during that time. He was on booty duty, right? He's been he touching dudes, paying for dudes' college tuition. One dude say paid for my entire college tuition, right? Paid for my college, my car. I have no debt. I have no Sally Mae because he gave me a big payday, right? He said I didn't have anything. He even connected me with the people he knew around the country and got me this job that's paying me $100,000 and some plus $1,000 a year. So he was, talking to these little boys, and I guess he pissed this certain little boy off. And because, he was talking, let me tell y'all what happened. He came out and said all this stuff and said he got proof and all this. 2 weeks later, cease and desist. You hadn't heard from the boy no more. Silent, gone. And that's how much power Ricky Rush has. That man got some power. Anytime you have a fish aquarium,
power now.
Oh yeah, and and they did a show on it on what you call it, the channel where they do look at the animals and stuff, Discovery or whatever. He was on Discovery Channel because of the wildlife he's saving in the church. All those wildlife that's in that aquarium have come from somewhere, and they've been saved from dying. And they put them in that aquarium, let them swim throughout the year, and it costs $1 million a year to feed them. And and so they do. Now I will say this: they do a lot in the community, but but when you get those kind of stories and those rumors put out there about you, it kind of tarnishes your legacy, brother. When everybody thought that you were the guy.
Black man, can I respond to a question in the chat?
Yeah, who asked you a question, baby?
Annalise Glass.
Anissa. Oh, hey, Anissa, that's my girl. Go ahead.
She said, "Why are they past position?" Okay, so look, this is what happened. Okay, so. In some of these churches, it's passed down. If your father passes it down to the son, blah, 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 blah. But then you have these ones that are self-proclaimed. they because they know a little bit of scriptures or whatever. I mean, look, Noble, you see, we got like 9 churches in one block, and in the middle is a gas station and a liquor store.
It's ridiculous.
Everybody's a pastor, right?
They got big old churches on
Every now and
every
then,
corner.
that one that is like that, that can bring in the people, and then all of a sudden they become, a bigger church and a mega church. So a lot of times it's not nobody's giving them that title. Anybody can say they're a pastor. I know the Bible, I know the scripture, and matter of fact, I'm an ordained minister. I can go in and start a church. I could be a pastor. And in some states, you don't even have to have a license. You can just, get your building, get your 4 no more, tax write-off. You a pastor.
Man, be light skinned. You can just be a pastor.
And you know what the problem is? Some of the people, let me say this, some of the people who are really doing the good work, they're getting overshadowed by the people that's doing the good work and got bad intentions, right? Because let's just, and I want to take a moment to say this. Just pause on the pastors that are on aisle 5 at Walmart. Even the other pastors, some of these women are out of line and some of these pastors are out of line as well. When these pastors are sitting, I remember singing in a choir one time, and the pastor was sitting here. His wife is sitting on the front row, beautiful wife. And these women, and this guy was a good, all the women, oh, he's so good, look, old girl, you look at her, dark skinned, fine man, right? That's all the women talked about. And when they come around, and for altar or come around and walk around, that Baptist stuff we do in Louisiana, they walk around and give their offering. These women come to church, and you ain't thinking about no Jesus when they come across that altar. I mean, they got their breast out, they got their ass out. I mean, they looking like models coming in there. I mean, hair down, and you think you up there praying. I've heard preachers stutter in their prayers when these women walk up to the altar. If you need prayer, come to the altar. They come down the aisle, and the pastor be like, "Right now, in the name of Jesus, right now, Lord, we somehow we want to just, Amen, everybody." They can't even get their words out.
Yeah, they are built different in Louisiana. I might go down there, go to a church. It's nice down there, boy. I tell you.
Man, some of those women have those men like, good God Almighty, oh my God. So
that is very true. And like, back in the day, the ushers were coming like, okay, baby, here they put the little cloth on you. You can't be sitting in the church like that. Well, now they don't do that no more. But I mean, one, you have to understand a well-to-do pastor, or sometimes not even the ones that just got those small church, women are attracted to power.
Yeah.
And so
they come into they come into they're aggressive.
They come and destroy. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of these pastors, they are strong. Some of them are not so much. Just like y'all boy down there in Baltimore. Well, he ain't there no more. He's in Atlanta. But your boy, Jamal Bryant, same thing. Yeah. Jamal Bryant would get hallelujah. Somebody in the name of these hoes ain't loyal, right? They not. They not. He didn't lie. They're not. But at the same time, he came out and said that I was sleeping with one woman and I cheated on my wife with another one. And because think about it, Jamal Bryant is very dark complected guy. He's
like the church Derek Jackson.
That nigga was driving around in a silver Bentley.
Yeah, right. And when
I forgot Pastor Gray.
Yeah, you know what? No, I ain't gonna put Pastor Gray on his level.
No,
I'm talking about as far as Pastor. Yeah, Pastor Gray found him an overweight lunch lady. Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jamal Bryant riding through the hood.
Oh, Empowerment Temple
in a silver Bentley.
Empowerment Temple looked like the hood. Them chicks is crazy fat.
Oh, they was coming in straight off the pole.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to address what Trey said real quick. Trey said if the pastor was single and dating, they would just shame him for not rushing into marriage. Can't win with church folks. No, they wouldn't shame him. No. They won't. They won't. They want it. They want him to. They want him because that's what they want people to see. They want people to see that he's with a woman. They want people to see that he has a family. They want people to see that he has a nuclear family because it's the face of the church wants it to be a nuclear. Now, the intentions are good. They want the pastor to have a wife, children, nuclear family to show that family is first, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't want a pastor sitting up there and then they say, "First lady," ain't nobody there.
Exactly.
Right. And sometimes churches get so desperate, they love the word of the pastor so much that they'll manipulate, and that's where it goes left. they'll manipulate the process in order to make the church look good. So put that woman on him.
That's what I said. That they
Right?
do it. Yep.
But some preachers got married when they was 19 years old. Took their, got their calling at 21, became a pastor, went to theology school and all this other stuff, and their wives been rocking with them, and they got 4 or 5 kids and all this, and they rocking. But some of these men, they were forced into, hey, listen, we got you the face of the church. What ain't Anitra still got that girl over there? Man, we forgave her for getting pregnant at 14. Tell her she owe us. Come in here and marry this man.
Exactly. Ain't that reminiscent of the shotgun wedding?
Stories I'm trying to tell you.
You know I'm not lying.
Ain't that reminiscent of the shotgun weddings?
Yep.
I wonder what came first.
Man. So, but I want to get into this the second video real quick. Because
don't cut my mic off.
Okay, hold on. Let me start it from the beginning. He told the media,
don't cut my mic off. In the name of Jesus, don't cut my mic off. This week, I was surprised with a contract that was titled Pastoral Transition Agreement. And it was told to me that the board of this church, which consists of 2 people, want me to leave town. And they made me an offer to pay for all of my moving expenses and to keep me on payroll for 6 months if I would come to you and tell you that I miss California so much that I want to go home. There was to be a fake announcement made by me and a member of the board to pretend like they were sad to see me go, like they didn't want to see me go, and like the announcement caught them off guard. On June the 11th, there was to be a going away party for me. They told me, if you leave town, we'll fund wherever you go. If you stay here, we won't give you another dime. Can I be transparent? I'm being transparent. I lost my temper and cussed them completely out.
Now that same board he talking about is the same people that are arrange those marriages. The same people. And that's why you need to go out into your congregation and find good leaders and build with those leaders and have at least 10, right? Some corporations have 20, but at least have 10 people on the board so you could have, so when you go into a vote, the majority would win. This man just said at the beginning of the conversation, there's only 2 people on the board. That is outrageous. For 2 people to be making decisions, and then they're trying to get this man to lie to the church, and he exposed their asses, right? Because he exposed them like, I'm not finna let y'all tell me what to do. Oh, y'all want me to get up and lie to the people that I love, the families that I've gone seen when they lost somebody or when somebody died. Pastors, the good ones, have a great job. I've seen pastors get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the emergency room and be with families from a person that just got shot or got deleted in a car accident. Or they said, well, you know what, Pastor? They say they only got a couple more hours to live. They up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, leaving their families to come sit at the hospital with your family, right? Go to the jail when your son get arrested, bailing them out, right? A lot of churches do that. A lot of churches have bailed a lot of little boys out of jail and reformed them, right? And say, hey, listen, putting them in different programs, finding them jobs, right? You do have churches like that, but I'm telling you, these people on these boards, they're like Congress, right? They're like, when you're the president, you ain't getting nothing done unless we make the decision, right? And so I'm glad he calling them out. And after this, I'm going to try to go look and see what the update is, but hopefully they have straightened that church out to the point where they got rid of those 2 people, or they added 8 more people to shun them, to get them out of there. So
he could have started his own church because he got enough people that was behind him.
exactly. Here we go.
I told them I'm not leaving the people. Told them I have a 10-year-old son, a 14-year-old daughter, a 16-year-old son. You can't expect me to uproot my family and leave town. And it's all because I initiated a conversation a year ago that made everybody so uncomfortable that they stopped speaking to me. I was told, you're an amazing preacher, one of the best, but you're a bad pastor. I said to them, God has used me to carry this church through healing, restoration, reconciliation, through a pandemic, through bringing people back safely, and you have the nerve to tell me all of the emails, texts, and phone calls that I've sent proposing classes and programs and outreach things that have gone completely ignored. And you have the nerve to tell me that if you stay in town, you can't come within 50 miles of the church. You think I'm lying? I got the contract in my possession.
And that's where they messed up at. They allowed him to keep that paperwork. Now, there's no way to get out of it when he presents that to the church or posts that online. There's no way to get out of that lie because he got it right there. We're going to move you. We want to pay for all your expenses, your moving expenses. We want to pay for you to get out of town. You can't come within 50. He has the entire contract to expose them to the church. And what he said was all the programs, and look how much progress they're stopping. All the programs I'm presenting to help kids and to bring programs to the church, they're not even voting on them. They're not even giving him a move to do them because they holding a grudge against him. It's crazy.
It's probably a dude that he didn't want to sleep with.
Come on. And he's probably. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
A lot of times, okay, so I'm picking apart some of the things you're saying and comparing it to what I knew about the, especially the black churches. If it's 2 people, a 2-people board, most likely this is a family church. It started out with one family and that one family rule.
Yep.
Then the other thing is, I'm pointing out when he said because he brought up something that made them feel uncomfortable. Most likely he called out something that wasn't right and they didn't like it. So, and hence they held that grudge against him for pointing out something that maybe they have been doing for years, or something that he saw that was wrong that needs to be changed. And especially, and I'm going to assume that the people that's on the board is older.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're set in their ways. They don't want to change. They'll give you a little bit of rope to do some great things in the church and bring in more people, help the community or whatever. But when you start stepping on their toes and stuff, they're gonna get rid of you.
Yeah, and you know what? I read in the this is for Trey. Trey said, "I'd like to know what they accused him of being a bad pastor." They said that he was leaking information to the church that was not privy to the church.
Exactly what I just said.
So basically, right? Basically, they were trying to make moves in the church that would not be beneficial to the people, and he went back to the people on a side meeting and said, this is what they trying to do, y'all. Y'all need to listen. They trying to put y'all money over here. Y'all giving, they doing this. And he exposed them about their decisions of what they want to do with the finances or things that's going on in the church. And they didn't like that. And they stopped talking to him. Because sometimes if you got the board and the pastors on the same level, they don't have to go to the church. They just make a decision.
Right.
And you won't know about it until 6 months in. But this man said, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
And he leaked that information. Go ahead.
You gotta look at how people bring you in. So I think however they brought him in and set him up as pastor, they probably brought him in to control him, and then they realized, oh, this is one of them rebels. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yep.
saying? So I learned this from the girls. Like I learned this from chicks. They say, "Oh, you're cute. You're that. You this. You. Oh, sometimes cute mean you look like the nigga I can control,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you'll say cute, right? So sometimes we make mistakes of thinking that some of our peers or superiors are mature enough to have mature conversations where you think it's kind of mutual, but it's not. So it seemed like that's the situation he was in. Like this don't need to be happening, this don't need to be happening. That's why got people need to pay attention to this story. That's why it's a good live that you're doing, because even in the church where the foundation is supposed to be God, and he was supposed to be on the operation of God, people still do satanic, treacherous, Luciferian things
Yep.
in front of your face.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead, Black David.
Thank you, finally, because for one,
I'm a bad
I
Jackie.
worked in the church. I've been in church since I was a little kid. The stuff I have seen and observed and hear, it made me walk away from the church about 6-7 years ago. I had a pastor in Queens who part of a particular network whereby one of the pastors is actually gay and he had a bunch of gay members in a church located in Brooklyn. With another pastor, a young pastor, well, I brought it to his attention, why is it okay for men to have their wife come into church just like they come to the club and these people are breaking their neck? And it's not much of a big deal to them, but you have all the young brothers who are single hawking at another man, woman. Is that okay? I see the pastor have people who are not qualified for leadership, put certain people in leadership, and people have wanted not to do so. Now will it lead to something else drastic? I've been that one person who checked a few pastors out here in New York City, especially in Brooklyn and in Queens. Called them out on the hypocrisy. You know what they tell me? Oh, you're too hot. You know what my response was? Didn't the Bible say either you're hot or you're cold, but you can't be lukewarm? So what are you then? There's another one that this pastor was trying to make an excuse. And here, I'm sure, like me, you've heard it before. Yeah, well, Jesus Christ, he preached to 4,000 to 5,000 men, not including the women and children in the church, right? That particular scripture, you know what I told him? Yeah, that is true, but I also heard in that same scripture, he also fed them. Not only spiritually speaking, but also physically, to the point you have a lot of leftover. So how many mega churches in this country actually fed the congregation to the point they have too much leftover? When you let me know, I'll be waiting, which is you're not going to find the answer. There was a mega church in Orlando, Florida, used to be run by Pastor Clint S. Brown, where you have deacons sleeping with the members. That church used to be belong on a Benny Hinn.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on a lot of stuff. The church I was attending in Queens and in Brooklyn, I was the odd one out because I wasn't following the status quo. I wasn't being fake about it. I wasn't being
You didn't want
flamboyant
to give up,
about it.
and let's be honest, the Black David, and you didn't want to give up no booty.
No, it wasn't even no booty.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't not the case. The problem is when you are here's the thing. You think it's funny, but I'll tell you what it is. When you are African guy who's been in a real church for X amount of years in Africa, and you come up here, you see the type of church they play around with, your aura will throw them up because you don't fly in the same mindset they do it. And if you bold about it and you call them out, they have a problem with it. It got to a point where I could not stand it no more because you know why? I thought to see men with no backbone get into leadership who became not ass kissers but ass eaters. That different level. You can kiss ass, that's level 1. You can eat ass, that's level 2. You can swallow, that's level 3.
What
You can
kind
go
of
to take that
conversation
level
are we having?
4.
What are we doing?
What are we having?
These are guys who want to climb up the leadership role. They wouldn't do anything
What's going on?
to climb up there.
Oh
Wait, ass kissing, eat all this.
Well,
Hold on, Black David. I'm gonna define what you're saying right now. I'm gonna define what you're saying because this is what you're saying right here. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let me pull this up because I think I'm gonna pause for a second on that video and I want to pull this one. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but this is. I want y'all to hear this. Now, this guy,
my favorite guy, my favorite guy.
Now, listen to what he says about the church. Here we go.
All on the choir press hang. That's right. You so-called Christian-looking whores, jumping in some church, flapping your ankle chains around. All on the choir press, hanging out, lips all red.
Ankle chains? What's wrong with
Red,
that?
purple, blue, green, long like bird claws. All this fake hair, breast implants, toenails painted with little fake diamonds in it. Your toes ain't richer. You're nothing but a prostitute. Go to church now.
Listen.
Got nothing but a singing hoe, a shouting hoe, a organ playing hoe, a choir director hoe. Hey, preacher. If what I just said describe your wife, you're married to a hoe.
Shit.
Am I right, sir? Talk to me.
Yes. This thing out of control. I like that.
Amen. Hallelujah. A man that's a real man don't want his wife out in the street looking like a prostitute. And you a holy woman? Amen. Or claim you's a Christian? Christian with skin-tight pants. Showing the very shape of your birth canal. Going to some church with the shape of your birth canal exposed in public and jeans all up the backside of your behind. Carrying the Bible.
Beyonce just show her
Yes, sir.
her actual birth canal. I said birth canal now.
You
All
gonna
you niggas. All you niggas is birth canals. That's what I'm
He
saying.
covered everything and then some. And he attacked a lot of the so-called gospel singers.
I got to bounce, y'all. See y'all.
I've been
All
saying
right,
for
boy.
the
Appreciate you, man.
longest.
Oh, bro.
I'm sorry when I'm
I'm
telling
gonna
you when I
find me
say
some birth
this.
canals.
Me and my wife, I saw this thing a few years back with an article. This pastor was from your district, black man. He said he was part of a particular conference. He went to that particular meeting, right? With a bunch of bishops, pastor, everything in that meeting. You know what was playing in the conference room while all the men was watching? Gay corn.
Oh my.
And he was, when I say he was blown away, he was like, I read it, I was like, oh no, you did not tell me. I read it 5 times. He actually played that in a conference meeting? And he put out some kind of, those district, they run multiple churches. When he saw that, and he watched all the other ministers watching and enjoying it, he said that was his last day of that meeting, and the last day being that particular church that's under their district. He walked away from it. And imagine, I grew up watching my dad and a bunch of other so-called leaders watching corn. Like, it was not a big deal. And I was like, this is not supposed to happen, right? It was happening. They came in the living room, sent me and my young brother to the bedroom, and I caught my pop. I was like, what the hell is this? The church my mom and dad were going to, we got ministers, leaders, people, other people's wife. I was questioning, they cannot be so, because I was reading the Bible at the age of 7, and I've seen something in the scripture, looking at them, looking at scripture, I'm like, if I'm being punk, after spending 7 years in Nigeria and seeing what a real church really is, and I came back and see all the fakeness, I was like, if I see one more fake church in this city, I am done with New York City altogether. And where I live, there are 3 churches that have major scandals. One got shut down, two left. It's ridiculous. They're faking the fun so much that if you walk in and you want to call them out, they'll arrange it by everybody gunning you, trying to tell you, oh, you the cause of the problem. I had a member of a church in Queens told me I was the only genuine member, which also includes the leader. I was the only genuine Christian in the church, and I found out something was wrong. If I'm the only genuine Christian in the church, then that means the whole church is fake as hell. When I was leaving, the pastor had to lie to my wife and fabricate story, make me look like I was a liar. They put like this. I had a high level of weight. It took me months to calm down because I did never in my life ever heard a pastor would lie on my name, lie to my wife, and got me feeling like I should go there and body slam everybody. I was feeling like going there black hole smash. Just let them have it. To be lied on by the minister, it got me thinking, man, I should just leave this country. To see other church when you have a bunch of members, male, you can sense they're in that community. And they have to do nothing about it, and he's part of it. You start to question, where can you find a legit church? I know there's no perfect church, but where can I go and not worry about all these madness going on? All the hypocrisy. It got to a point where I couldn't stand it no more. You know the biggest scandal I've seen so far? There's a mega Bible school that people are going to, studying to be minister and everything, right? But as you listen to when they preach, start to realize they contradict themselves several times over. And they don't get it. And I'm watching them like, that's not scriptural. Why would he say that?
You see what Trey said?
Don't worry, Trey. I'm going to land the plane. I know at least 5 to 6 pastors, Brooklyn and Queens, who are gay, they want to admit it to their congregation. Never been married. And what they're doing within the young generation, they're forcing the guy to go astray. And I'm asking myself, if you have a huge number of church supporting this nonsense, what can you do? I have God who left church. They say they don't go to church no more. They do church in their home now. But they can't trust the leadership. So to see the two pastors, I'm glad I'm seeing it, but we need more of that. I'm telling you, this is not new. It has been going on. The fact that people like me, like people who have spoke out for a long while, we be told to keep our mouth shut. We don't know what we're talking about. So I tell you this is how I know your church is fake. If I come to your church and you're meant to put me to sleep, then you got a problem. Just like you know that right now.
Yeah, well, I don't. You got to go bed.
Yeah, my pod is here, so I gotta go.
Okay. Hey, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, man.
You still up when I'm done, and then I'll come back.
Okay, absolutely, guys. Make sure you go over and subscribe to Realistic Vibes. It is a great. She's a great content creator. Make sure y'all subscribe. Okay. All right. So listen, this is the video, guys, that we've been watching. And Scam Like, if you want to come up, you definitely can too, my brother. But yeah, so this is the video that we've been watching of a pastor who is doing the work, who's trying to do the work, who is about the work of God, period. But just because he reveals a lot more to the membership, he was shunned upon a year prior to this, him going off, and saying what he's saying right now. And for the ones who just came in, hit the like button and subscribe button here so you guys can hear this. Here we go.
Media, don't cut my mic off. In the name of Jesus, don't cut my mic off. This week, I was surprised with a contract that was titled Pastoral Transition Agreement. And it was told to me that the board of this church, which consists of 2 people, want me to leave town. And they made me an offer to pay for all of my moving expenses and to keep me on payroll for 6 months if I would come to you and tell you that I miss California so much that I want to go home. There was to be a fake announcement made by me and a member of the board to pretend like they were sad to see me go, like they didn't want to see me go, and like the announcement caught them off guard. On June the 11th, there was to be a going away party for me. They told me, if you leave town, we'll fund wherever you go. If you stay here, we won't give you another dime. Can I be transparent? I'm being transparent. I lost my temper and cussed them completely out. I told them I'm not leaving the people. I have a 10-year-old son, a 14-year-old daughter, a 16-year-old son. You can't expect me to uproot my family and leave town. And it's all because I initiated a conversation a year ago that made everybody so uncomfortable that they stopped speaking to me. I was told, you're an amazing preacher, one of the best, but you're a bad pastor. I said to them, God has used me to carry this church through healing, restoration, reconciliation, through a pandemic, through bringing people back safely, and you have the nerve to tell me all of the emails, texts, and phone calls that I've sent proposing classes and programs and outreach things that have gone completely ignored. And you have the nerve to tell me, said if you stay in town, you can't come within 50 miles of the church. You think I'm lying? I got the contract in my possession. I told my wife this morning, I'm not gonna say anything. But doggone it, the people have been through too damn much. You've been lied to for too long, manipulated too long. I'm sick of the foolishness. I'm sick of it. And the devil is a liar. If they don't let me back after today, I'll let you know where I'm going. Because it's one for all and all for one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I would like to, after that, I would like to find out, get an update on, what happened after that, because, and like Anissa said, yet we talk about, let me pull it up here. Anissa said, yet we want to talk about accountability. That's accountability. He held them accountable. Right? And Trey is right on it, man. I was just about to say it, Trey, but I'm glad you did. My little brother Trey says, sad to see what happens to be a good pastor be treated unfairly, but church politics are ruthless. He is absolutely correct. That man should not go anywhere, and he keeps his people knowledgeable about everything that's going on in the church, and they want to keep it a secret, and they want to make decisions. Like Trey said earlier, they're going to see it in the financial report. Yes, but the financial report comes out every quarter. So if I make a decision in January, you're not going to know about it until April, right? And the money's already been spent. What you going to do, right? I done spent $20,000 on this new microphone system for the church. Didn't come to the church at all, knowing that the church could take their $20,000 and help support a family, go feed a family, do something in the community with. Like they can make plans, like he just said in his soliloquy here. He just said there's things I've come to them with, and they can't get it done because they don't like him. It's all because they don't like him, because they know he's going to leak information to the congregation because they don't want to. And it consists of 2 people, and it shouldn't be consisted of 2 people. It should be consisted of 10, max 20. And that's crazy. And again, guys, for the ones who just get here, thank you, Security Boss, for being here. I see Clement Gray, who's also a member of the channel, is in here. Anissa, thank you for being here as well. As Isaiah Jr. is in the building. Take heed to the message. Even if I shouted you out before, T. Wriggles is in the building and on the panel right now. Thank you so much, Trey. Thank you, everybody that's here right now listening. Hit the like button and subscribe button. I want to play the first video again. No, Trey, they're not. I had 2 different ones I wanted to play that are pastors who are exposing the churches and trying to expose because they're on the inside of some of these churches. The first video, that man's on the inside of some of these churches, and he's seeing these things, and so he's calling them out as well. But I'm going to play the first video again, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the super chat first. We got Clement Gray with a $5 super chat. He said, what's up, BMU and the Nigerian honey badger in the panel? Jesus. He said, people are about to stop playing with God's wife. People slipping on banana peels on their way to hell. Absolutely right, Clement. And for that reason, I'm going to have Pastor Lonnie Love. Thank you for your...
So wrong for that.
I just want to thank Pastor Lonnie for that word. SB is in the building. SB said a relationship with God is what it takes. Is what makes you want to do the work. Absolutely, Security Boss, you're right on it. Trey's on it. And we got Deshaun Stallings in the building. Thank you for being here, Deshaun. If you want to come up, the link is in the chat. It says, I'm sorry, but I can't take these people. Seriously, because the thing is, whatever that's going on in the church should have been out already about what these pastors been doing. It's only when you get, and then he went on, there's a lot of secrecy in the church. There's a lot of hidden gay stuff in the church. There's a lot of sleeping with everyone in the church. Yes, that's been going on for a very, 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 very long time in the church. And Trey said it's fitting. Lonnie was trying to get with Cousin Pam. Churches are wild. Yeah, Lonnie Love, man. Shout out to the Martin Show. Jesus, man, that was a classic. Guys, I want to thank you guys for being here with me and going through these videos with me. I'm gonna play the first video again because I think it's necessary for us to hear it. So because I know a lot of people haven't been here for when I played it the first time. Here we go.
We got a lot of preachers, ministers, bishops, pastors, elders, apostles that are single and not ready to mingle. You're not fooling nobody but your own self. God said it's not good for man to be alone. You're either gay or choking the chicken. God said it's not good that man should be alone. He said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from God.
All right, all right. So, guys, you saw that. So, I played it one last time for you guys. Hey, listen, I'm about to sign off. All right, about to go sign off. And get out in the streets with these babies and find something for them to do today. You got off a little early today. But thank you so much, Tara Chambers. Thank you. I saw you earlier in the chat too. I wanted to shout you out as well. T. Rickles, do you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah. The internet crappy connection, but this is just like the stream you made last week or a couple of days ago. How we have to take a stand, and I felt both of those pastures vibe, man. Like we've got to take a stand. If we don't take a stand, hey, I think the whole human race is about to end, and it's like it's going to start over, and we're going to go through that Noah scenario of the flooding. Right. So if we don't take a stand and clean up, it's going to hurt. The truth hurts. It's going to sting a little bit, but we'll heal from all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been writing this mantra, BMU. I've been writing this mantra. We can't leave until we change this place for the betterment of our children, loved ones, and the ones on their way. You feel me? So if we don't do it now, right, we're in a whole lot of trouble. There was a song back in the days, I think you know this, or a group, and it said the leaders of the new school. Now, I know you've experienced something, BMU. You've experienced, this death, and our elders leaving. You feel me? So we're at this point, with our Generation X, is that, it's the changing of the guard. The baton has been passed to us. And this is why I love your forum, man. I love this forum you've developed. And thank you. You're God sent. Real talk. You're doing God's work for sure, because we've got to change. And then since we're the leaders, right? And then we've got to teach the youth. That's why I love the youth. We got to teach them, and so they can carry on. So when we pass the baton, they already know what to do. So I love the topics. Man, I love these two pastors. I'm gonna follow and see what happened to Pastor Sanders. I'm gonna be on it. You know what I'm saying? And get back to you with it. Right. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thank you, brother. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. And have a good day, man. And thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you, my brother.
All day.
All right, guys. So thank you guys again for being here today. It means a lot to me to have you guys here. And just have these different discussions in addressing everybody. Edward, before we get out here, Edward Gilbert says there's a church in my city where the pastor's son, which is the youth pastor, sleeping with men's wives. When they confronted him, his father, the pastor, protected him instead of dealing with him. Yes, that's a huge gray area. It's your son, and then he's done that. What I would have done is sat my son down and told him he can no longer lead people until he learns how to love on people instead of trying to sex on people. And Scam Likely came in and says, so is he accusing all single pastors of being gay, or calling out the ones who actually are? He was actually calling out the pastors who are, right? The pastors that he knows personally, because I couldn't play the whole 30-minute sermon, but just a clip from it just to spark the conversation. But yeah, the pastors who've been around 30, 40, 45 years and preach marriage and preach family and preach nuclear family, and have several women who are interested in them. And probably women who basically probably throw themselves at these men for the last 30, 40 years. And these men have never been seen on a date. They've never been seen out with a woman. They've never dated women. They've been in the ministry for 45, 50 years and never even discussed being with a woman. And they're, trying to get everybody else to get married, and they're preaching marriage, family, so on and so forth. But they don't even talk about it. They don't even, for themselves from a personal standpoint. And so, yeah, that man, he's been a pastor for a very long time. I think he's been a minister for 45 years, been married for 40. Yeah, that pastor right there that you just saw. He's calling out the men that he's been around for the last 40 years in ministry. that he knows for a fact that are very flamboyant or doing things that they shouldn't be doing when the lights are on. All right. So I'm going to end the show today with Pastor Lonnie Love again. This is for you, Trey. SB came in the building and said, bring shame back in Jesus' name. Yes. There's a lot of pastors out there that are doing that, and they are not popular right now for doing that. They're trying to shut them up and shut them down. And Ricky in the building. Ricky, what's going on, my brother? Ricky says Jesus doesn't shame. Well, he has. He just does it in a different way that we do it. Now I will say this, because this is a whole nother conversation. So shame is not of Jesus. It is. Jesus has shamed a lot of. He has done it before. It's in the Bible for sure. He has done it before. Even the woman at the well, she wasn't there to talk about Jesus, how he healing people. That woman at the well wanted to give Jesus some of that thing. And Jesus said, wait a minute, no, you can't have me. Because the man you in there sleeping with now ain't yours. Right? She felt ashamed. She did. Those people in the tabernacle who were disobeying God's word and disobeying the laws of God and not keeping the church holy, they were ashamed when he came in and embarrassed them in front of everybody. Right? He convicts them, and Anissa, come on, let me do it. Listen, Anissa, don't you be taking my words from me. But what Anissa says, he does convict and called out sin. Yes, very much so. And today, I do want to say this because this is a show for later on. But today, shame, we look at it today, shame as being disrespectful. Shame is correction, right? Because anything you do that's out of order and somebody sees it and says something about it, we immediately categorize it as shame, right? Embarrassing someone is shame, right? If I walked in on my son and a young lady and they were in sexual activity at a young age, 13, 14 years old, when I call him out on it, whether we're in public or not, that's shameful. He's going to be ashamed of what he's done, because people, it's amazing to me. And I said this before. Imagine this. A lot of people said, shame, don't do this, shame, don't do this. Imagine if God decided, I'm going to take, this is why I'm going to take everybody's past, everything that you've ever done that nobody knows about, and I'm going to play it on a loop in Times Square in New York. How many of you would be looking for the plug to unplug it? How many of you would take your guns and shoot out the screen so people wouldn't see it? Right? How many would you? You'd be so embarrassed and shamed if people knew about it. Imagine being a person not doing the right thing. Shame only comes to those people who are not doing the right thing. Shame don't come to somebody that's doing the right thing. That pastor that we just saw that talked about the church kicking him out because he's about the people. He's not ashamed, but those two people on the board, they're ashamed because he exposed them. The Bible also talks about exposing as well. Right? And so, we can say it's shame. Yeah, shame. We characterize it as shame, but when you're doing the wrong thing and somebody call you out on it, it's shame. I guess it's a good thing to straighten you out. How many people have gone through a situation and they never changed until they got caught? Right? You were a thief. You were great at it. And one night you did something you didn't never done while you were stealing, and you got caught up and got put in jail. It'll change you. You'll be ashamed when everybody looked at you like you were not a thief, but then they look at the Sunday paper and see thief caught at Walmart, thief caught stealing car, and your face is on the front cover. You're ashamed because now you're ashamed. You've shamed your family. You've shamed your mother. You've lost your job, right? You're shamed. Bring it, and the courts are going to shame you because the courts are going to release all the documentation showing who you are. Oh my God, we linked them to this. Oh my God, when it rains, it pours. Look at all these men who say they're upstanding men and have all these sexual things against them right now with women. And nobody would look and say, not one time would somebody look and say Bill Cosby was a man out there messing with all these women. But then guess what? 1 came, 12 came, 23 came, 30, 40, 50 women coming up and saying he did something. Everybody like, no, not Mr. No, not Dr. Huxtable. No. But the court shamed him. When they rule, all it takes is somebody to leak the information. That's shame. So, you guys, I understand what you're saying. But shame is for people who do the wrong thing. Shame again. There you go. Security boss said holding accountable is shame today. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Right? No. I think that truth is change. Truth is shame. I agree. I agree that what Ricky said, truth is change because shame. Because guess what? If you're not living your truth and you walking around and your suit every day. Okay, let me give you an example. Anybody out there that watch Power, right? Mr. St. Patrick during the day had on a $1,500 suit, clean cut, businessman. What? Clean every day, doing business. Owns a business, own a club. At night, hoodie, sweatpants, 9mm, killing everybody. Until he got caught. And it shamed his family. It made people that was doing business with him back off of him. It made people look at him in a different way. Nobody looked at Mr. St. Patrick the same because he got shamed. Right? CBN came in and said Jesus shamed his own disciples for not fasting and praying to do great work in the ministry. Right? Lady Navoa said so many black parents will fight if you don't. If you do that to theirs, it will be ugly today, especially the ones who don't want the community help raising their kids. Yes, and that's why the kids are all over the place. All over the place. SBU said shame brings you to change. All right. T. Rickle says critical thinking here. What did Jesus say on the cross? Long story short, he absorbed all the men's sins, right? So if that's true, wouldn't that make Jesus the most evil cat ever? Wow. Anissa, she said SBU is correct. Conviction should not feel good. Right? Scam likely came back and said shame and hold you accountable mafia created dustathons. No. Shame did not create dustathons because guess what, Scam? If you do something wrong, it doesn't matter if an average Joe shames you. What happens when the law gets you? What happens when a woman during the day she works a job, but then a very good job, but at night she's a woman of the evening who sells her body and she gets caught and they arrest her and they put in the newspaper the next day or it's online, right? And it goes online. And everybody knows now that she sells her body for a living. Everybody's gonna be like, what? Let me give you an example. Take one of the most calm people in the world. Imagine today, security boss, I'm gonna use you as an example, okay? I know you don't mind. Imagine security boss, all about family, love, all about her husband. And what happens tomorrow if y'all got on YouTube and saw a big old picture of security boss, a thumbnail of security boss, and somebody's doing a show on security boss saying, y'all, guess what? Security boss got arrested last night for being a drug kingpin in South Carolina. Y'all that would be shameful. She's being shamed, and she would have to, and she could probably never recover from that. Right? It's shameful because what you do, because listen, let me tell you what the shame. Let me tell you how you prevent shame. You prevent shame by not doing things that will make you get shamed. That's it. You stop doing the things that you don't want to get caught. You don't want to. You stop doing things that if you get caught, that will shame you, shame your children, your family. It's self-inflicted wounds when you try to shame somebody. Well, I mean, self-inflicted wounds when you do stuff that you know if you get caught, it's going to shame you. It's going to change the projection of your life. Right? It's not creating the dust panels. It's holding shame. It's holding people accountable. My mom, when I was a kid, Shame was a beautiful thing. When I was a kid, I went in the store and I asked Mama, Mama, can I have that piece of candy? My mama said, no, you're not getting any candy. And when my mama was not looking, I grabbed the candy and put it in my pocket. We got to the car, and I'm back there chewing on the candy, and my mama say, what you eating? She said, I know you did not steal no candy. Get out the car. My mama made me do the walk of shame. She told me, take the rest of the candy out your pocket. We walked in the store. My mama asked for the manager. The manager came out and she said, hi, how are you? My name is Sharon, and this is my son. My son has something he wants to tell you. She said, tell him. And I had to look up and say, Mom, I said, Mama, she said, tell him. I said, sir, I was in your store. And she said, and what? I stole some candy. She said, tell him. She said, we can't hear you. I stole some candy. She said, now give that man his candy back. And you're going to take out of your money that I was going to give you. We're going to take it out of that, and we're going to pay for the candy that you've already eaten. My mother shamed me because I did something that caused shame. How hurtful was it for my mom to do the right thing and take the candy back in the store that I had stolen? I brought it on myself. And so my mama had to shame me. So it didn't cause, I don't think that's true, my brother, that shame and hold you accountable mafia created dust-a-thons. I don't think that's true. Not at all. I don't think that's true. I think that you need it. Right? I think that's what it is. So um it bring it back. I think that a lot of people was held accountable. I think a lot of people did the right thing. I think a lot of people didn't want to get caught. If you were doing something wrong, you better go do it out of state. Because I'm telling you right now, if you got caught, you were done. Right? And the world class just put the nail in the coffin. The world class says shame only works on those of us with integrity. Right? And let me say this. Lady D, all right, put a one in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Lady D said these black men need to take those pigtails out of their hair and start being men. Well, they're not pigtails. I wanted to address this. They're locks, and it's amazing to me even from a biblical standpoint or from a heritage standpoint that these were never long never looked at as pigtails, but there is locks. Now, what amazes me is that I ain't gonna say the majority of women, but a minority of women such as yourself will say that, and then will post pictures online with a face full of makeup on, a wig or weave in their head, with a BBL, and added on breast, and we'll talk about men who have hair longer than their natural hair. I don't think men hair should be longer than the women's hair, but maybe under circumstances women don't love themselves enough to wear their real hair. So my locks has nothing to do with that because my locks are natural. Now I could see if I went and sat on a chair for 6 hours and let somebody take a collie's hair or a Midwestern Asian horse's hair and put it in my head. But I don't do that. I grew my locks because that's what I wanted to do at the time. And men who wear locks, that's what they want to do at the time. But at the same time, we got to understand this is not nothing but us being fake. There's right. Nothing. I can shake my head right now. Ain't nothing coming out. If I can get on a bull right now or a bucking horse and my hair won't come out. But I know one thing, some of the women who will get on bucking horses right now will lose everything. Lashes, hair, butt may blow out from a bad BBL. Breast may come off crooked because the breasts have been done. So it is what it is. I think that, from a relationship standpoint, all men should wear a mask when they go on dates. And when they get there, you could take the mask off if she's natural with no wigs and no weave and no lashes and no makeup, 1,800 pounds of makeup. You could take it off. Take your mask off and enjoy yourselves. Be yourselves. However, hey, listen, hold on. Lady D, you said the guy who attacked the woman in the restaurant had braids on his head. I'm just saying, what? What they got to do with me? And the lady that he attacked had on a bonnet. The lady that he attacked had on a bonnet, right? The lady that put who drowned her babies in the tub with her boyfriend had on a wig, right? It doesn't mean anything just because he had locks. That makes every man with locks a bad person. Right? Even the Bible tells you about how women behave and what women wear, and how a woman should be modest in her appearance. Right? If we're looking at from a biblical standpoint. So that's neither here nor there. So Lady D said, wow, I think black men who wear braids and earrings act differently. I don't wear earrings, just never was into it. But I've had these locks for almost 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years for sure. And I have a clean background. I work for a corporate company. I make great money. I take care of my family. I'm married, nuclear family here. All my kids are in one household, no baby mama drama. So I would have to differ from what you're saying. Don't have a criminal background. I mean, I go to church every Sunday. My kids have a foundation. Take care of my wife and children. So I don't think the locks lead to any behavior that is different. I don't think it's the locks, it's the person, just like guns. It's not the gun's fault that people got shot. It's the stupid person with the gun is the reason why people got shot. Right? Even if we look in the Bible from a biblical perspective, if you look at Samson and Delilah, the reason that Samson lost his strength is because what? She cut his locks. He lost his strength because she took his locks. She cut his locks. He told her the strength that God gave him was in his locks. So prominent men of the Bible had locks. However, I'm gonna get off of that. So Lady Navoa said this took a turn. We just wanted to make sure that I addressed everyone. Everybody has an opinion. I just want to address it. Tell the truth. Bang, bang. There you go, world class. T. Regal said, tell the truth like Information Man say. Shout out to Information Man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Information Man. He has a great channel, great content. But guys, this has been amazing. I've enjoyed being here. I think I've addressed everybody and everything everybody had to say in the chat. I want to make sure. All right. Jimmy Howard said, did you look up the use of eyelashes? Yes. From the stories that I read, eyelashes were used with Chinese prostitutes to keep semen out of their eyes if they got ejaculated on in their faces. Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, that's what it is. I will send this out though. Women, love yourselves. I will say that. Love yourselves. Men and women, love yourselves. But you have to love yourself on a level. When you look in the mirror, you got to step out and give everybody what God gave you. Most women won't leave the house if their wig catch fire. A lot of women will call in if they lost their wigs. A lot of women will call in. A lot of women will not show up for the most important days of your life if they couldn't get a hair appointment to get their braids done. Right? Most women won't even come and flatter you on a date unless their eyelashes are done. Ma'am, sir, can I tell you some truth? Men don't care. If I go on a date with a woman, if I was dating and I weren't married, if I went on a date with a woman, I do not care about no lashes. I do not care about no wig and no weave. And I know that some women say, well, it's not that we don't care about ourselves and we don't love ourselves. That's fine. You can care and love yourself all day long. It's about the perception. Perception is reality. If I look at a woman and I'm sitting at a table with her and I'm trying to get to know who she is, and I can't see past the lashes, I can't see past the big old titties you just got done. I can't see past this weave down your back. I can't see past this big old booty you just got done in Miami. If I can't see past all that, then what's the purpose of getting to know someone who don't even love themselves? That's the perception that a man would have. She went and made all these alterations to her body, and she wants me to marry the silicone and not marry her. A lot of women get that done because they want to be accepted. A lot of women get it done because I've never got accepted when I was a child. I need to get my level up. Well, God didn't intend for you to have a booty like Serena Williams. He intended you to have a booty like Keisha Williams. Every woman ain't gonna be built like Serena Williams. Serena Williams before she had the baby. I don't look at her really right now, but before she got the baby and before she got married, Serena Williams had the most perfect body on the planet. Thin waist, abs, breast, butt, all real. Thighs bigger than an 18-wheeler truck headed to San Antonio. She had the most perfect athletic body you will ever see in your life. And it was all hers. And a lot of women say, you know what? I want to be fine like that. Golly. And y'all go get BBLs and they didn't even put airbags in the BBLs. You sit down wrong, that thing can pop. Right? Go up, and I'm being funny and facetious right now, but some of y'all need to go on Google and look up some of these women who have had these BBL surgeries and their asses look like balled up 80-year-old fist. Yeah, breasts are hurting or getting infections, or some of these women are breastfeeding their children from fake breast. How do we know the chemical from the silicone is not mixing in with the milk, that the natural milk that God gave you to feed your child? I'll also say, like I said yesterday in the chat yesterday on another show, God gave women eyelashes. They changed them. They altered them. God gave them a butt. They went and got a BBL. They changed it. They altered it. God gave them breast. They changed and altered them. God gave them hair. They changed it and altered it and added to it. God gave them lips and they altered the lips. God gave them vaginas to keep their legs closed and have sex with their husbands. And now they're going to get vagina reconstruction surgery to tighten it back up after so many 18-wheelers have made U-turns in them. So many hot dogs have been thrown down their hallway. Right? And now, if God gave them all of those things and they weren't pleased with that, then what man can do anything for a woman and she be satisfied? This has been Black Men Unfiltered. Y'all go ahead and stay in the chat. Make sure y'all share this video. Thank y'all for being here tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have a barbershop conversation tonight. So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe button, and listen to what the fellas are saying. Ladies, if you need to listen to what the fellas are saying, make sure you tune in tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We would love to have your questions. We would love to have your thoughts. We would love to have you here in the audience with us. But we have barbershop talk tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to laugh. We may bump heads a little bit. We're going to have some serious conversations, and we may have some playful conversations. But I'm about to go work on that right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something I've never done before. Guys in the chat right now, you tell me what the title of tonight's man show. What should men talk about tonight? I'm going to take opinions from the women and the men. Tara Chambers, Lady Navoa, come on, talk to me. Security boss, y'all come on, talk to me. Anybody in the chat, male or female? Lady D, what do you think men should talk about tonight? Come on, Jimmy Howard, world class. Y'all put a title right now in the chat. Tell me, give me a subject for tonight's show, and the winner of that show will get that. I will definitely get that taken care of and named to that show tonight. All right. All right. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Barbershop talk tonight. Put it in the chat. What should men? What do you want to hear men talk about? What do you want to hear men talk about? All right. I see y'all talking about some skinny clothes band-aids. Come on now, y'all. Y'all got to give me something else. Give me something else. I can. That's too many jokes for me to be serious about that. Give me something else. My original thought was we're talking about a lot of doom and gloom as far as people not being. I think everything has a balance. I think that there's good and there's bad, and there's a balance between the two. And if you can't realize that there's a balance between the two, and you think that every day is not going, you're never going to have no doom and gloom days. Go outside and look at nature. Nature proves it. Nature says today in Texas it's going to be 106 degrees and full of sun. Yeah. And then tomorrow is thunderstorms and tornado warnings and wind gust of 45 miles per hour. And then the next day it's quiet and then it's dark outside. Oh my God, the temperature is going to drop to 20 degrees. The weather will show you. The weather will show you that there's a balance to everything. I'm going to give you good days where the sun is shining. The weather is a reflection of life. So I'm going to give you good days, days of sunshine. That's why people shouldn't be so focused on happiness. People should be focused on joy. Happiness is a selfish state, because if God came to me and said, "Black man, what would make you happy? What kind of weather would make you happy?" A sunny day. And then he'll give me a sunny day, and the next day, I didn't tell him day 2, I told him day 1. The next day is thunderstorming on the second day of my trip in Jamaica. The weather will show you a reflection of what life is. It will. You'll have sunny days. You'll have days of thunderstorms. Sometimes you have a tornado that'll come in and tear up everything in your life. Then after that tornado, then you have because when the rain pours, then you'll have a hurricane come in and rip the foundation of your very foundation apart. Then some days you'll be hot in the summer, and some days you'll feel so lonely, you feel so cold inside. The weather and your life are so much alike, but we pay attention more to our phones and we pay attention more to reality TV than we pay attention to the reality of nature. When was the last time you went and sat outside and just listened to the trees? Listen to the air and the wind, breathe in some air, go to a park, sit on a chair, sit on a bench. Right, get away from this for a little bit. I'm about to go do it right now. When I get off of here, I got the rest of the day off. Right? Oh, I did a great job of closing the month out at the bank, Jesus. We did a wonderful job. I worked half a day here, and I'm going to finish out the rest of my day with my kiddos. When I get off of here, I'm going to go tell them to put some shoes on and give my wife a break and let her sit here in the peace of the house of being quiet, and take the kids out, and we'll go downtown and have a good time and enjoy ourselves. Go to a really, really nice park and breathe in some fresh air. Right. And I think all men should do that. Make sure you love on your families. You don't know how much time you got left. You could be the healthiest person in the world today and fall dead. You could be the most unhealthy person in the world today and fall dead. No matter what, everybody got a time clock. This one day it's going to get punched. All right. Make sure you guys love on people. Make sure you show somebody some love today. If you got enough money to buy the people's grocery they're standing behind you at the grocery store, buy it. Pay it forward, right? If you can pay for someone's coffee that's behind you at Starbucks, pay it. Pay it forward. You'll get it back. And if you don't have anybody else to do anything for, do something nice for yourself, because self-care is the best care. I love you guys. This has been an unfiltered reaction. Make sure you guys come in tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have an excellent time with the fellas tonight. And we'll see you guys on tonight at 8:30. This has been another Black Men Unfiltered show. Make sure after the show you guys go and comment. Make sure you guys go like. Start a conversation in those comments. I want to see a lot of comments under these videos that we're doing because we want to get out there. I know YouTube is not kind to people who are spreading this type of content. And so let's push them into it by commenting on the videos, even after the video is over. Get in there and start a conversation, and let's get a conversation started in there. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you have not liked this video, please like it. If you have not shared it, please, everyone that's watching right now, 15 people left in here. All 15 of you hit the share button and share it with one person that's in your circle. One person. Tara Chambers, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Poppy, I see you just came in. Thank you for being here. T. Wriggles, so on and so forth. I've called out everybody's name. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. I'm going to end the show with Lonnie, and then we'll do the outro because I think Lonnie is important to the culture. So, Pastor Lonnie, if you don't mind, come on in, and we'll see you guys start at 8:30 p.m.
Go. Fire by night and a pillar of vapor by day. Walk through the desert, but when you admire the light, see the villains are paper mache. I'm on the way to the promised land, no contraband. I'm an honest man, I'm coming. Y'all met me, I'm set free, playing my part like the Red Sea. Man, I'm from heaven, I'm here with my brethren. The volume's 11, now we're getting rowdy. Swing from the scaffolding, spiritual happening.